In the ancestral village of Ngolam, the elders were disturbed by the same sign. During the night, recurring dreams appeared, heavy and dark, announcing an imbalance between the living and the ancestors. At sunrise, the wise ones understood that the ancient order was threatened. The sacred forest of Konar, protected for generations, was not to be approached. It contained ancient forces bound to the fate of the village. But time had changed minds. The younger generation saw these warnings as remnants of the past. Listening to the elders became rare, and respect for taboos slowly faded. As the day progressed, an unusual silence settled in. Drums remained quiet, birds withdrew, and the land itself seemed to hold its breath. Unknowingly, the village had taken the first step toward breaking the ancestral pact. In the days that followed, the village of Ngolam subtly changed. The ground hardened beneath footsteps, crops lost their brightness, and the air grew heavier. The elders recognized the signs. When the land grows silent, it is listening to human disobedience. The youth continued their routines, unwilling to see what was breaking around them. The sacred forest of Konar appeared to expand as nights passed. Its shadows now reached the first huts. Hunters avoided it as paths shifted and sounds became deceptive. The forest, once a guardian, was becoming a judge. One night, a fire went out without reason in the center of the village. Then another. The flames refused to return. In the tradition of Ngolam, this meant only one thing: ancestral protection had been withdrawn. That night, the elders felt a presence leave the altars. Sacred masks cracked. In the invisible world, the ancestors had risen. Their gaze no longer protected. It judged. The young women ventured deeper into the forest. The trees seemed to move, and indistinct voices whisper warnings. The birds fall silent, and the wind carries ancient songs. A strange green light appears in the distance. They discover a river with strange reflections, showing images of their ancestors and past mistakes. Each glance into the water reveals a warning or a forgotten choice. Fear and curiosity mix. An invisible shadow begins to follow them. Plants close behind them, and each step seems to lead back to the starting clearing. They realize the forest is aware and is testing their courage and respect. They find a circle of ancient stones covered with mysterious symbols. In the center, a blue flame floats without a source. They understand that to move forward, they must show respect and humility toward the forest's forces. The spirits of the ancestors appear as floating lights. They show a safe path out of the forest and reveal the first lesson: to listen to and respect ancestral wisdom. Fear diminishes, replaced by reverence and attention. They reach a clearing bathed in golden light, yet everything feels unreal. The ground reflects images of their deepest desires and fears. Trees sway with the wind, creating deceptive visions. They understand that the forest tests not only their courage, but also their discernment. Following a path covered with giant roots, they discover ancient inscriptions carved into tree trunks. Each symbol tells stories of ancestors who ignored warnings. The forest seems to remind them that history may repeat itself if traditions are not respected. They arrive at a suspended bridge over a misty chasm. Each step triggers trials, visions of past failures, violent winds, and auditory illusions. To cross, they must master their fears and move forward with confidence, undistracted by doubt. On the other side of the bridge, they discover a circle of ancient stones emitting a harmonious song. Each stone resonates with a specific frequency, revealing forgotten memories and hidden truths. They understand that ancestral knowledge and memory are keys to progress. As they move forward, a thick mist envelops the forest, making each step uncertain. Silhouettes of mythical creatures appear and vanish in the mist. They realize that trust in themselves and in the guidance of their ancestors is essential, as fear could make them lost in this space between reality and mysticism. A fine rain begins to fall, but the drops shine like diamonds. Each drop seems to reveal visions of possible futures. The young women understand that their choices determine the fate of their tribe, and the forest offers them a glimpse of the consequences of their actions. They find a perfectly calm lake that reflects not only their appearance, but also their inner essence. The reflections reveal their fears, strengths, and deepest secrets. They realize that self-knowledge is essential to move forward and survive in the forest. A sudden breeze sweeps through the forest, carrying ancient whispers and forgotten scents. The young women feel a protective and benevolent presence. The forest teaches them that respect and listening to nature allow one to discover invisible yet powerful forces. They follow a path where each step reveals memories of their childhood and stories of their ancestors. The ground seems alive, telling past lives, reminding them of the importance of collective memory. They understand that past and present are intimately connected. At the end of the path, a radiant clearing appears, where a luminous spirit, the guardian of the forest, awaits them. It shows that each trial served to strengthen their courage, wisdom, and respect. The forest reveals the final lesson of this stage, harmony with invisible forces. Night falls suddenly, darker than any they have known. The sky seems to open, revealing unknown constellations slowly rotating above the forest. Time feels suspended. The young women experience a deep inner transformation. Fear fades, replaced by a new clarity. The forest is no longer a trap, but a living sanctuary, revealing its truth to those who have learned to listen. Ancestral silhouettes appear around them, formed of light and stardust. They do not condemn, but observe. Past mistakes, pride, and the neglect of traditions are revealed as deep wounds. The young women understand that ancestral wisdom is not a constraint, but a protection passed through generations. The forest offers them a final path, divided into multiple directions. Each trail represents a possible destiny: power without wisdom, freedom without memory, or balance between tradition and future. They understand that the future of their people depends on their ability to transmit what they have learned. The choice is not individual, but collective and sacred. At dawn, they leave the forest. The outside world feels different, more fragile and precious. The village appears in the distance, bathed in a new light. They are no longer the same. The forest has engraved a sacred responsibility within them. The knowledge received must now be protected and transmitted, or past mistakes will return. Years pass, but the story remains. The forest stays silent, watching. The young women, now guardians, pass the memory to future generations. The ancestors' warning is no longer ignored. It becomes a pillar, an invisible law engraved in the heart of the people. The forest, satisfied, now protects the balance between the living, the ancestors, and the future.